Hello, welcome to Let's Share with Chidi. My name is Chidi. This platform was created purposely to share ideas, to ask questions with regards to things that affect us on the daily as young adults in Ghana. So, here we'll be talking about any and everything depending on how it affects us. Today, I start off with the perception out there about people who wear braids, especially men who wear braids or have locks and all that. And since I started fixing my hair or wearing braids and doing all kinds of hairstyles that are not the conventional, the normal ones that we know, I realized that there's a lot of negative perception out there about people that wear braids. And I just felt it right that we could raise such a topic, discuss it, and then see the way forward. Because, one, I realized that people lose out on job opportunities, for one, depending on how they look, regardless of whatever field they find themselves in. Yes, I understand that there are sectors or there are certain areas within the occupational world where you're supposed to look a specific kind of way. I respect that. I don't fault that at all. However, there are other places that should be flexible, but instead, you still find places like that where people have a certain notion about people who wear braids. It's interesting to note that there are quite a number of smart young men out there, but just because they have locks, they wear braids or something, they are not giving opportunities to exhibit talent, to exhibit abilities, and to help in whatever way or form they can. And also, society sees people like that in a particular way. It's either you are in the creatives or nothing else. If you're not in the creatives, you can't work in some formal, and I'm choosing my words carefully, some formal environment. I, for one, had the opportunity to work with MTN, one of the biggest multinationals in the world when it comes to telecommunications. And MTN is amazing. They do not have a problem at all with what you wear. So far as you keep it clean, you keep it neat and decent, okay, they do not have a problem with it at all. And thumbs up to MTN for doing that. So they look out for the ability in the person. One, your background. Do you have the knowledge for the job role that you may be applying for or seeking to enter? And that's, for me, that's the way to go. In the 21st century, it shouldn't be about how the person wears his hair or whatever hairstyle the person has. So far as you have the ability, you can do what is expected of you and do it well, diligently, without any questions. Then there shouldn't be a problem. Another thing is where you walk in town and then people look at you a particular way. So just some few days back, I was walking with a younger brother of mine, and we got close to this lady, and then she just steps away. We were all about to cross a major road, and she just steps away from us just because she realized that I had my braids on and he had his locks and all that. Regardless of how decent we were dressed, she just stepped away. Why? Because there's that, and she looked at us in a particular way. It wasn't just the stepping away for me, but you know, that eye, that look, that disdain in her eyes was what struck the chord for me, because then it looks like I don't want to get close to these people and all that. And I think some of these notions, they are way outmoded. I mean, they are ancient. It is not about what the person has on. It's about what is here. The person's abilities, what the person can do. You get me? And there's this perception that, oh, all the bad boys, they are those who do the braids, they are those who, but please, I don't think that's what it is. I've seen what people with bald head or neat cut do the worst things, and we are all witnesses to some of these things. We've seen people do some of the worst things, and they are clean shaved, and they would do exactly the opposite of what you even think of them because of how they look. So I think it is not about how the person looks or what kind of hair the person has on. It is more about the individual. Okay, the individual. And just like the good book says, test the spirits and see. When you enter a church, you have to test the spirits that works there before you sit and test the person and see. Try whoever it is you are dealing with, whether the person has a braids on or has a clean cut or the normal cut. Test the person to see if the person is able, has the abilities, has the requirements you need in order for the person to excel in whatever role you want to put the person, or even for social purposes. Get to know the person for who he is, and don't judge the person just because of the hair the person has on, especially for the men. And I'm saying this for the men. I know some ladies also encounter this. For instance, you have a lady who has a colored hair, or maybe had played with a few colors, and then people start looking at them a particular way, or start developing a particular perception about them. And I think all these things must be really looked at. So thumbs up to MTN for all that they do with regards to accepting people on their abilities and not by their looks. And then for all those who respect us regardless of how we look and give us the opportunity, thumbs up to you. But this is something I think we should really look at. And thanks for watching us here on Let's Share with Chidi. See you next time.